Professional Skin Retouch in Lightroom. This is Lightroom for completely beginners, a series of classes where you will learn how to professionally edit your photos in Lightroom 2024 to start making money with portraits or charge more for your services. If you're new here, I'm Silvia, specialist in the magazine style of maternity photography, and my goal is to help you improve your retouching skills for you to make more money with photos. Now let's get into the video. One step that will separate you apart from other photographers is to take time to work on your client's skin. Here is very important for you to have a little bit more attention because you don't want your client's skin to look fake or blurry. And this is something that I see many beginner photographers do. But you are going to learn the most professional way possible that you can retouch your client's skin with Lightroom. The wrong way that many beginners do when they try to make the skin smoother with Lightroom is by going to the basic tab and actually working with the clarity and the texture down here. So I'm gonna zoom in on my client's face and I'm gonna be tweaking the clarity and the texture. So texture pretty much will give more texture to your photo. So if I go up with the texture, you can see that now I have more details on my photo. And if I go down with the texture, you can see that makes the photo a little bit blurry. And the clarity is gonna give you a little bit more of the 3D look. So a little bit more of volume in your photos. So when I go up with my photo, you can see that I have more of this 3D volume on her face. And if I lower the clarity, you're going to see that it looks very weird. It looks like it's fading away a little bit of her face. And this is not really good for your photo. But what I see a lot of the beginners photographers do is using both of these tools, so just reducing texture and reducing clarity, and that's the skin retouch that they do in their photo. What happens is that it looks very fake, and here's before. So after and before. And this is not the best way for you to retouch your client's skin, because first, you're not just getting her skin, you're actually getting the whole photo. So if we see the before and after, before and after, before and after, you're losing a lot of texture and you're losing the line between things, so it's not crispy anymore or sharpening anymore. This is definitely not the way for you to go and retouch your skin. Even if you just try to go down a little bit, so I'm gonna go back to 0 here with everything, and I'm gonna go down with the texture and a little bit with the clarity. Still, this is not really good. You're still losing a bunch of things on your photo. It does not look good. It does not look professional. Another thing that I see a lot of photographer beginners do is going to details, and we can see closer here her eye. And they try to make the skin smoother by removing the sharpness. So here's before and here's after. Before and after. So when you remove the sharpening of your photo, it is affecting the whole photo. And what you want to do is to be more specific in where you wanted to make it the skin softer. You don't want it to do a general thing. So for that, now let's learn the right way. I'm gonna go back with the sharpening. A better, more professional way for you to retouch your client's skin is by using masks. And if you don't know how to use masks, you will learn here today because it's not that complicated. However, I have two classes actually, that I talk all about masking. And if you haven't watched it, I'm gonna leave the link in the description below so you can go and watch it. Now let's start working on our client's skin in the most professional way that you can do using Lightroom. I'm gonna get closer to her face, first thing. I'm gonna see if there is anything that I wanted to remove from her face first. So for example, zits, some blemishings, anything that it's on her skin that it's a little bit big and you want to remove. Right now, I don't have anything that it's very concerning or I wanted to remove. Also, because this is not a very close-up photo, it's a photo that I have her whole body. So you're not gonna be paying attention to every detail on her face. But let's say that there is something here that you would like to remove. The way that you're going to do this is by going to the healing tool right here. And you have a few different options here of what you can do to remove this detail that is not being good for her skin. So let's just see the 3 modes that we have here. The first mode that we have is the content aware. The second one is the heal, and the third one is the clone. And each one of them will give you a different result. So let's start with the clone, because the clone, I think that it's the simplest one. The clone is pretty much copy and pasting something in a different place. So for example, let's say that I want to clone her face right here on the background. I'm gonna select the background, and automatically Lightroom is gonna give me 2 circles. One is where I'm copying from, and the other one is where I'm pasting from. So let's say that I want to put her face here. I already select the place where I want to paste something, and then I have this other circle that I'm just gonna clone her face. So right now, I just made a copy of her face. So this is what clone is. Very simple and easy to understand. You have some variations of things that you can do here. Size is the size of the brush. Feather is how much you want the edge to be crisp or fading. When you have 0 feather, the edge of what you're copying is very crisp. And when you have 100% of feather, the edges start fading away. The opacity is how much do you want this copy and paste it to be visible. So if you have a lower opacity, her face is not very visible. And when you have 100% of opacity, you're seeing her face pretty well. I'm gonna delete this, and now let's go to hue. Hue is something that is similar as well. You're gonna have 2 circles because everything is going to be about copying from one place and pasting in another place. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put her face on the background here. So this is where I'm copying from, and this is the results that I'm getting. I'm gonna go lower with the feather so we can see better. And the difference between the hue and the clone is that the clone will copy something exactly how it is. The hue will try to read the information from where you're copying something, and we'll try to mix and blend a little bit better to the place where you are pasting. So I'm gonna delete this one, and now we are gonna do the content aware fill. So this tool is very different from the hue and the cloning tool. What this tool will do is to fill the space that you selected with something with a content that Lightroom think that it should be put into place. So it's more trying to use the intelligence of Lightroom. So for example, if she has a zit on her face and you click in the zit, Lightroom will try to understand this is not supposed to be here. So what is around her face that it makes sense for us to put it here that in a way that looks really, really good. So it's more using the intelligence of Lightroom. You are not selecting where you want to copy from. Lightroom is already doing that by itself. So it's a little bit faster. Let's say that this part here, this small circle here is bothering me and I wanted to clean this. I'm gonna go to the hue option here. For right now, I'm gonna use the content aware. So if I wanna try to remove this, I'm gonna go with a very small size. I'm gonna select the area. So let me show you the before and after. Here's the before and after, before and after. I can try to remove also, just to show you a little bit of the texture that she has around her cheek. So I can just go and start clicking on the texture, and Lightroom will automatically just remove everything for me. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't look good, so you just need to delete it, try it again, see if Lightroom will do something different. But most of the times it does a really good job. Here's the before, here's the after, before, after. So you can do that around all of her face, but again, I don't think that for this photo is very necessary. She doesn't have anything that's too big that's actually bothering or taking the attention away from it. Everything that we can do with the masking about smoothing her skin will be good for this photo because it's a far away photo. And now what we are going to do is, by going to masks, we are gonna go here to create a new mask, and we are gonna go to select people. Lightroom will recognize that there is a person in the photo, and we are gonna choose here person 1, and automatically Lightroom will give you a few options of selection. So I'm gonna zoom out really quick, and what we want to do is to select the facial skin and the body skin. This is everything that we want to select, and we are gonna go and hit create mask. All the effects that we want to apply to smooth her skin needs to only be on her skin. This selection is not 100% perfect, so we will need to make the selection better. What I'm gonna do is get closer to her face, for example, and you can see that her eye is being selected, her eyebrow is being selected, and when I try to adjust the tool here to smooth it out her skin, her eyebrow, her eyes, everything will be affected that I do not want it to be affected. Because you want the eyebrows, you want the lips, you want some parts of her nose, her ears, her eye to be very sharp. Otherwise, it's going to look weird. So what we want to do is go to subtract. I'm going to select brush. So I'm just going to remove from the parts that I don't want to make it softer. So pretty much it is the eyes. I like to remove even this part here between the eyebrow and the eye. And you want to remove a little bit around the eyebrow. You don't want to just to remove, for example, the eyebrow. You want it to give a little bit more space as well. Like that. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I like to go a little bit around as well. Here on the nose, you wanted to select everything that it's kind of aligned. You want to select that because you want that to be very crispy and sharp. And now going to her belly, I wanted to remove all the line and the edge around here. And what we are going to do is going to down here, we are gonna go to the effect, and now we are actually going to work with the texture and the clarity, and we can work with the sharpness because they will make the skin smoother. But you just need to be selecting exactly the area that you wanna do that part. And I'm gonna go down with the texture just a little bit. And we can see that the skin is a little bit smoother. And now you can go down with clarity a little bit. And this is looking pretty good. So here's the before, here's the after, before and after. You can see that she lost a little bit of the highlights on her face, for example. It kind of got a little bit flat, her face, but this is something that we will adjust later with the dodge and burn technique. And now you have a more professional way to retouch the skin because everything that it needs to be sharp, like her eye, her eyebrow, is still sharp. Only the skin that actually is softer, so it doesn't look weird. It looks pretty good. And let's see the full body. Here's the before, here's the after. Now you know how to professionally retouch your client's skin without looking fake or blurry, and this will give you a better quality on your photos, which it is important if you want to increase your sales or make more money. Click the like button if the video was helpful for you. Stay tuned for the next lessons of this course, because by the end of it, you will have photos that stand out more, and that's good if you're trying to attract more clients and make more money. Also, subscribe to my channel if you're not yet. New videos come out every week. For now, this is everything. I will see you in the next lesson.